Hey guys, welcome back to my channel Books with Natasa. Today I will be filming another video for you guys, and this one is called If You Read This Book, you should probably try and read this one as well. So without any further ado, let's get straight into it because I have quite a few books to talk about. First, I'd just like to say I'm sorry for the noise in the background. It's just my sister and her friend being super loud and annoying. So I hope you guys can hear, but if you can, I'm so sorry. So the first series that I want to talk about is the Court of Thorns and Roses series by Sarah J. Maas. Many of you know that this book is a Beauty and the Beast retelling following Farah, who goes onto the woods to hunt so she can feed her family and accidentally ends up shooting a prey. And then this monster basically shows up and breaks her door down to her house and takes her to live in Prithian in the spirit court with him. Basically, they end up falling in love and she tries to break his curse. But it's so much more than that. The first book is like bleh, but the next books in the series are 100% incredible. Definitely read Akamath, it's so worth it. But if you love the Avatar series, I highly recommend reading the From Blood and Ash series by Jennifer Armentrout. And I know not many people do this comparison, but for me, I think it's really suited because in the From Blood and Ash series, we follow Poppy, who has lived an entire life in a mask, basically in a veil, and she needs to basically not exist, to not talk to anyone, to not interact with anyone, to not speak, to suffer abuse from the people that she lives with, and all that, because she needs to be ready for this for something that will happen when she becomes an adult, and she needs to have this faith into the gods without ever. And that's the way she was raised, and it's like this super ugly society that basically wants to kill her. So then she meets Hawk, who becomes a guard assigned to her, and they become close. And some stuff also happens, but I'm trying not to spoil you. And basically, yeah, we have vampires, we have werewolves in this one, we have a lot of supernatural creatures, magic, we have gods, ancient gods, like not the Greek gods, like actual gods. So yeah, the reason why I'm recommending this series is because it gives me the emotions that the Avatar series gives me, like with the inner circle and the banter and all those hilarious scenes and the sense of family. That's what this book is giving me, and I hope you guys can see it as well and really enjoy the series because I definitely have already. As I keep starting today, I don't know what's wrong with me, but I hope you guys can put up with it, and I'm really sorry. The next book that I want to talk about is The Love Hypothesis by Anne Hazelwood. I mean, if you know that this is a fake dating romance that became super popular last year, I believe. And we follow Olive, who is a researcher, and Adam, who is a professor or researcher, basically. And they start to fake date to convince her friend to date this other guy, Jeremy, that Olive has had one date but has no feelings. And then they start to develop feelings for another, and it's really amazing. And for this one, I recommend reading Heart Smart by Emma Jane. And I couldn't have discovered this book without my good friend's help, and I will put her account down below. But this book is a lot similar with Love Hypothesis. We have a Grumpy Sunshine, we have fake dating, sort of fake dating, we have workplace romance, we have all those stuff, and we have a lot of mental health representation in this one, and it's done very well. We have like OCD, ADHD, and all that stuff, and personality disorder and all that. So yeah, we have this. I can't remember the name, I'm so sorry. We have this guy who doesn't do well with interacting with people, and he has been nominated for a grant, but he needs to jump through a few hoops in order to get them. So the university is hiring this girl to train him basically and make him approachable. but then they become super close, but she really fights in it because her ex-husband was a researcher. He was super grumpy, just cared about his research, and she just can't go there again because it nearly broke her. And yes, it's really good. Both these books 5 out of 5 stars. Next series that I want to talk about is the Percy Jackson series, and for this one I don't want to give a synopsis because many of you know that what this is about. And for this one I want to recommend the Covenant series by Jennifer Armentrout. Both these series have demigods and gods. We have romance in the Covenant series between an actual god and a human, I believe. Please forgive me, but I don't remember it very correct. But yeah, we have a lot of Greek mythology. We have so many stuff. Also, the few books at the end of the Covenant series are super heartbreaking. So keep in mind that I sobbed through the last book. But you will also find super fun characters, and there is a spin-off series if you guys are interested called the Titan series, following one of the other characters in this series. So basically I'm giving them 2 series. I hope you guys really love this one because I sure did. The next series that I want to talk about is Outlander. I many of you know if you are a fan of the show, but I will give you like a super cliff note version. But we have Claire Fraser, who lives in 1900s and basically accidentally time travels into 1700 after touching stones in Stonehenge in Scotland. And basically she goes into Scotland 1700 and in the Highlands, and that's where she meets Jamie. Oh my god, I love Jamie so much. And he's like trying to protect her, but she also wants to try and get back to the stones because she knows if she doesn't, she will go back home to her husband. But there are so many obstacles, and they end up falling in love, and she doesn't want to leave them. And it's like a super amazing love story. But I haven't read the books. I don't know if they're good because they are enormous. And I think the new one that came out a few months ago was like 1,000 pages, so I can't do that. I'm so sorry, but the TV show is one of my favorite shows. And oh my god, I still need to catch up on the newest season, but still, I love it so much. And for this one, I would recommend the Surviving Time trilogy by Kyle Reid. And many of you know that this is a new favorite series of mine. And in this one, we follow Shireen, who wakes up from a very vivid dream, and she can't stop thinking about. And then she finds the photo of the man that she dreamed of in her shop, and accidentally gets transported back in time in the 1912, I believe. And she inhabits the body of his current wife, Shireen. But it's not like a body swap, I promise. There is an actual explanation to it, but you just have to read the book. But yeah, she manages to convince the guy Etienne that she's not actually his wife, and they end up forming this partnership in order for her to return to her time and he can get his wife back. But they end up falling in love and she doesn't want to leave. But then actual time itself wants to tear them apart, and they trying to do whatever they can to be together, and it's just one of my favorite series. I love it so much. Also, there is a spin-off called Belgrave Dynasty, and it's going to have like 10 books. So if you finish this one, you can jump to the next one and just have so many more stories to read about, and I promise you they are so worth it. But in this trilogy, you better have the second book ready and the third one, because these needs to be read back-to-back books, because otherwise you can't survive it. That's for my video. Thank you so much for watching. I hope that my recommendations were helpful for you, and I will see you soon. So like, subscribe, and stick around. Also, I would really appreciate if you guys could give my account below some love, and I will see you soon for my next video. Bye!